stabbed you?
Navy SEAL.
Really?
Yeah. Well, an ex-Navy SEAL.
Were you playing the I left you game?
And he didn't think it was funny.
The check came. I said, I left you.
Yeah, he was sensitive. Whatever. You know what? We had our differences.
What happened?
I was visiting Tulane, where I went to school, and I was wondering, like, I was going for my visit, you know, and my brother's roommate was a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
Or an ex-Navy SEAL. And I was like, oh, man, you're a Navy SEAL. I was 17.
Right.
And chewing fine at the time.
Okay.
Swallowing both sides. Just,
You thought you could be a Navy SEAL with that skill.
I thought, yeah, between that and my doggy paddle.
Right.
Yeah. So he had this closet of death. He's like, hey, you want to see something? And he opened up the closet. There's guns, knives, camouflage, and a bulletproof vest. And he goes, look, it's knife proof. And I try it on. And he just doesn't ask me. He just goes, look, it's knife proof. And he goes like this. And
to jab you.
And he goes, I think I stabbed you. And I go, you think, motherfucker? And I take my vest off. There's a hole in my Gap shirt, which I was upset about.
Right.
And
This is over your heart.
yeah, so I think I'm going to die for sure because of the Star Spangled Banner. You know, that's all I know from,
Your hand goes.
because
So
I
you're
got a
stabbed.
degree in science or whatever, or bachelor's, whatever. So I'm bleeding, like I take the vest off and blood is just shooting out my chest. I think I'm going to die.
This is fair that you think you're
He's
going to die.
stabbed to death.
Yeah, stab. To
And he goes to the emergency room, the emergency clinic, and they're like, just sit and wait.
yeah, I go in the
He's like, "Oh, I'm
emergency
bleeding
room.
to death.
Yeah. They're like, so what's wrong? I go, I think I'm choking. So so my brother comes out. He's like, jump in the Wrangler, right? We get in the Wrangler, and this thing's great. A great Wrangler, by the way. Like big, mean tires. Yeah, write it down. It's an 84. And
It's nice that you had time to appreciate it.
You are very from a specific part of Florida.
Well, this was in New Orleans, but yes, I am.
But just the things you bring up, like the circle where you could possibly live without saying the name of it is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. We'll be like, oh yeah, we know that block. Like,
It's there's nothing there. And so I was
So you die?
so I die, and then I decide to start comedy at 10 years later because I want to die again.
Make things worse.
So I'm bleeding to death, and we get in the Wrangler, whatever, and the pain is in my stomach. I can't breathe, and I think whatever, like my.
Sure.
So I get to the emergency room. There's like New Orleans, so everyone else has been stabbed without a vest, you know, and so they're like, "Look, we think his lung has collapsed."
But we have to deal with these choking victims first.
Yeah. So the choke, and that guy's hard for some reason. So
For more than 4 hours just to rub it in. Or rub it out.
whatever. Yeah. So he came, and then they're like, "All right, what's wrong with you?" And so whatever. So they think my lungs collapsed, and because your heart is actually here, which I learned that day.
Almost
little
in
more-
between your boobs.
Yeah, and then your lung, and so whatever. So they go, look, your lung isn't collapsed, but we got to keep you here for 6 hours. Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm like going in and out of consciousness, whatever. Not like consciousness, but like, you know, I'm on Demerol now. So at that point, I'm on a painkiller. I'm like, oh, who needs a lung? You know, throw another lung in there. You know, whatever. And so I swear to God, I open my eyes and the Navy SEAL is in my face, and he goes, "You got to tell the cops that you stabbed yourself." I'm like, oh my God. I'm 17, you know, I'm just going to see if I want to go to school here, you know? And so this huge black New Orleans cop comes barging in, and I'm like, "I am officer." No, I didn't do that. So, but I was like, "Hi, officer." I really was like, and he's like, "Well, what happened here?" And I was like, "Well, I was playing with a knife and a big dog jumped on me and I stabbed myself."
You had to add the big dog.
It was before improv classes. It was pretty impressive. so he goes,
Let me tell you what makes Andrew an asshole. He made it a big black dog.
yeah, it was a big black dog with a big mean black cop and a white Navy SEAL. And and so sorry for and then I was like, well, I swear to God, the cop looks at me and just goes, "Well, see you later." Like he didn't do any paperwork. There was no like figuring out like the blood splatter, like no
Right.
Dexter shit. Just like, all right, well, enjoy New Orleans, no paperwork. Meanwhile, I ratted out the dog, you know, the dog's in jail for
Dog's been
fucking
killed,
doing 7 to 10, and that's no good. So,
That's 49 years if you're a dog.
oh yeah, bitches get stitches, boy. So I go, I start going in and out again, and then next thing you know, there's a nun in the room, and I think I'm actually dying, and this is my last rites, and I just looked at her, I go, get out of here, I'm Jewish, get out. Like I turned into my grandma Thelma.
You're gonna ruin everything.
It's like a Chabad rabbi would tell the story, and that's when you became a religious Jew and married a nice girl.
I know, I did the exact opposite. I dated a Catholic and cried. So so I end up leaving, and I swear this is true. I go back home in the Wrangler. We get back in the awesome Wrangler.
Oh, another ride.
Are they still selling the Wrangler? Because you can put up an affiliate link and make a percentage.
This is the crazy part. Different Wrangler. No.
But now that's your thing and everyone knows it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
And in the back seat, a giant dog.
Yeah, a dog. Yeah. Well, let's not bring him up. He's dead. So we go to a concert, and the lead guitarist is the Navy SEAL that stabbed me. Swear to God. And he goes, oh, man, sorry about the accident. And again, I'm like, I don't think it was an accident.
Right.
Like, you stabbed me with a bulletproof vest on. We didn't, like, forget to call our mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they play me a song. I actually felt a little better. And
Played, this is dedicated to the guy I stabbed.
yeah, like shot
looking
to
at
the
you.
heart or whatever the fuck it was. And so then
And this song goes out to my pal Andrew. Snitches get stitches. Snitches.
against it. CWW. Yeah, so-